All right. Hey, welcome, guys. Good to see everybody. Hey, welcome to the Hot Corner, Giant Sports Talk Live, NorCal Sports Network teaming up to bring you the weekend wrap-up with the Giants pulling it out 2 out of 3, despite only getting, I don't know, what they get, all hits all weekend, about 10 in 3 games, and they win 2 out of 3.
I know.
Guys, welcome. So, geez, I just like this team can't hit, but thank God they can pitch.
Oh, right. I mean, goodness gracious. We had 2 great outings, right? Between Landon Roop. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like strikeout dominant or anything, but he didn't allow any runs. And then, of course, Robbie Ray today. Goodness gracious, the guy's having a hell of a season. That's a conversation.
You know what? We did a lot of ripping on Farhan, but that might be his best trade ever.
100%. 100%. You know, and honestly, right? Farhan he's hit on a few trades. As far as his free agents and drafting, maybe a little bit suspect. Well, definitely with free agencies. Yeah. But he's made a few trades. Darren Ruff, Chris Bryant. That was actually a good move in 21. And then of course this one with Robbie Ray.
Yeah. And the Dodgers lost the Mets tonight, so the Giants are only a game behind the Dodgers. They played what? What is their record now? 31 and
20. 22? Oh my gosh. 22, I think it is, right? 31-22? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. They're 31 and 22. So they've played 53 games. So I guess we're right about after tomorrow, exactly third of the way through.
There you go. It's one of these mileposts, in a baseball season.
Yeah.
You got Memorial Day and 4th of July, Labor Day. That kind of
Memorial Day is tomorrow. They'll be a third of the way through the season. Yep. Wow. And we'll have to talk about some of the things that they're going to have to maybe do to stay afloat, because if the pitching falters at all, you're looking at you could see them lose, 15 of 20.
Yeah.
If what are the A's? They broke a 10-game losing streak today finally, or 11, or what was that losing
something
streak?
Something like that. They're on hard times.
Yeah. 10 games, and 8 of them were by 1 run.
Yeah. See, I can see the Giants if their pitching faltered because they're not hitting.
Right.
So the Giants have got to, they got to be really happy that they're still winning games, but you can't just go, oh, well, you can't rest on the fact, hey, we're a really super team, because we're 31 and 22, we're 9 over, but you're doing it without hitting. And
it's all pitching. It's all pitching.
I don't see the hitting all of a sudden improving to the point where the whole team's hitting. I see a couple guys might break out, and then a couple other guys might go, into a little slump. The problem is they've got to, Flores was super hot at the beginning of the year, and then he had that game a week or so ago where he hit 3 homers, and he's really sitting at 10. Ramos has 9, and Chapman has 8 or 9, something like that. Does Chapman have that many?
8, I think. I think he's got 8.
But where's the hitting going to come from, guys? What are they going to
do? That's great. These guys, I've been saying it over on Giant Sports Talk Live. You paid these guys a lot of money. Talking about Chapman and Adames. There's really nothing you could do with the lineup. I mean, the only position I think you could really upgrade if you really want to is first base. If you want to set a tone, I'm talking about Buster Posey. It's a little bit harsh in setting a tone, but if you went and you got serious and you said DFA Wade, you're kind of, hey guys, this is, you got to produce oriented, right? You have to. And if you don't get it done, well, then guess what? We're going to find someone else to get it done, because you can't keep having a 179 hitter. Again, there's something that's got to spark that lineup. And I don't know what look, they got the good vibes. I've heard this all the time. Great vibes. Yeah, I get it. And that's important. I'm not saying it's not. But damn, let's produce, especially with guys that you're spending a whole lot of money on. They have to step it up.
Yeah. And I just want, for one time, just one time in my life, Robert, I want you to say something a little bit negative about the Giants. Just one time. You're so positive that the pitching will continue and the offense will improve and they'll go on to win the World Series this year, next year, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 40, 15 straight World Series championships by the San Francisco Giants, according to Robert Rothberg. Yeah, the medications are starting to take effect right now.
Wow. That came out of nowhere. Oh, that's funny. He ain't saying enough. Oh my gosh. Mark Graves makes a great comment. Chapman is not swinging any outside strikes. It tells me he wants to pull the ball. It's possible. That is a high possibility. Maybe he just wants to crank it. It's like, come on. And JT, he makes a good point. Offense isn't bad. 11th runs and score. Okay. I understand that, but there's situations when the Giants just aren't. And that's the thing. You look at their over their last few games, a lot of 1-run games, 3-run games, right? But in the middle of those, you'll have a 7, a 9, and a 10-run game. And then it goes back down to like 1, 2, or 3. It's just, it's a little bit weird. There's inconsistency right now with the club. So it is what it is. And again, we just need to, if they want to go deep, they're going to have these guys produce more than what they're doing. Period.
Yeah, Eric and Dan, I think Eric and Dan, I wanted to bring up, 3 things. First of all, offense in the major league, it's overrated because you could have a 18-2 game and you could go 4 games with, you lose 2-0 or 1-0. So I think that's overrated in WAR. So those don't really follow me. And I think with the Giants problem, I think one of the things we haven't really bought up, because I watched all 3 games almost every inning. And except for Fitzgerald that hits the ball directly on the bat, even his outs are loud, is these guys are very soft hitters. And I think we got to sort of blame Pat Burrow a little bit. A couple of years ago when the Giants had a problem with the offense, we ran the batting coach out. For some reason, because Pat Burrow, great player, but he just might not be a great batting coach. But, nobody's ripped him at all. Nobody said a word. All we're talking about is the players can't hit. Well, somebody's responsible. And if you're not going to blame the players, then you got to go to the coach. So I just, again, I'm not going to blame Pat, but except for Fitzgerald, none of these guys are hitting. Wade isn't hitting, and we're talking when they hit, it's very soft. There's nobody that comes up to bat that you get scared of. We're almost expecting Chapman to get an out. When he gets a hit, we're sort of surprised, Yeah. So I think, Pat Burrow deserves a little negative on there. And, I do want to say one thing today, too, and I know we'll talk more about the game. But Ray is pitching like an ace, not like 100%. What Webb does. This is what an ace does. When your team's not hitting, you go 6 innings, you don't give them a break. And that's the difference between Webb and Ray. Now, I know Ray is a former Cy Young. I know Webb, with a losing record, was second in Cy Young. But today, Ray took the ball, and you knew they weren't going to score. That's what a Cy Young does and an ace. He is
a strikeout pitcher, period. He wants to come out there and step on your neck for 6 or 7 innings and just absolutely annihilate you. I love it, man. I mean, he is.
I'm feeling good about my hot take in the preseason that he would be the X factor and that he would be in the top 10 this year in the Cy Young. He might be in the top 3 right now.
Right. He's up there, man. He's up there with the Scoobles and all that stuff, man. I mean,
you got Scooble. Think of this. Hey, so happy they Scooble pitched today. Oh my gosh. The guy, he pitched a 9-inning complete game with how many strikeouts? 11, 12s? How many was it?
Strikeouts, I believe. 13.
How many?
I believe
13.
13.
Yeah, ridiculous game from Tariq Scooble. I saw in our fantasy league, I don't know who had him, 40 points. 40.
That's a lot.
Man. Yeah. 40 points.
But that's what Ray, right now. That's what Ray is doing. It's funny because I kind of said I didn't think he was going to be this good, but I said last year, okay, he's not going to be there. You're coming off Tommy John. I said 2025 he's going to pitch better, but I didn't see that. This is you talked about it, Cy Young type style of pitching that we're seeing from Ray, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I believe the Giants, it's either 12 or 13-0 in his starts. Last year, Webb, we all talked about him. The Giants had a losing record when Webb started. They're undefeated when Ray starts. So I just, you got to give credit where credit's due. And you can just see it. He's out there confident, and it's different. So I just wanted to make sure I brought that up.
Can I ask you guys a question after the All-Star break? Because you might be able to do it during All-Star break. Should they align the rotation to where it's Ray and Webb or Webb and Way, where they're back-to-back rather than them being a little bit? Because then you know what I'm saying? Because if you're going into a 3-game series against somebody, you're
have two of those going,
Right. If you got them going all the time, I mean, granted, it depends on how the schedule is. But, man, that would be something to have those two guys as a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, I always never understood.
Especially when you're going against it,
I never understood why they started Verlander second, in the rotation. Yeah. I thought, you had Webb. I always had it Webb, Ray, 1-2. Right now it's
Ray Webb.
1. Yeah. Yeah. Ray Webb. That sounds like a movie.
Ray Webb.
Ray Hobbs, Ray Webb.
Yeah, there you go. Or somewhere where people over the age of 55 live.
Yeah.
Let's go buy a house in Ray Webb.
And Eric, when we play against our own guys in the NL West, we'll make a change. You want to go, when you go against the Dodgers, you want to have them two going, San Diego, them two, and Arizona. So we'll see.
Think of this since we're talking about Ray. What's up, Dallas? He says Lasky says to extend him now. I would wait until after
extending Ray. You still got another year.
As this year and next year. Yeah, you got time.
Yeah, do it next year.
I'll tell you what. I'm waiting on Ray. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I want to see where the Giants are at the trade deadline, because if the Giants are not in position to be like what appears to be a true contender, if they have, man, you could get a haul for Robbie Ray by trading him. You could get
big time.
You can get a bat. I don't know, man. You might be able to get a big time bat for Robbie Ray. I don't know. What are you going to do with this?
I tell you what, I think it's kind of a win-win this year, right? Think about this. Depending on where the Giants are at the trade deadline, if they're still grooving, hey, we're good. You could be a buyer rather than a seller. If you're sucking it up, well, then you could do this. You could be a seller instead of a buyer. But the thing is, if you're going to be a seller, you got Ray, you got Flores, you got Yaz. That could probably be marketable to get some youth back. If you're in it, then you got this youth of pitching in the minor leagues where you could go get a bat. Right. I mean, it's a win-win, because when's the last time the Giants have been in this type of position where you got some talent in the farm that you could will and deal with? Man, I think either way, the Giants are sitting pretty good in getting some additional talent at the trade deadline.
Yeah. I mean, and if you look at just some of the things that players that might fit what they're needing, they're going to need. It looks like you're going to have if you're going to have a first baseman that bats left-handed if you want that lefty-righty situation. Ryan O'Hearn's out there with the Orioles. They're having a terrible year. He's doing pretty well for the Orioles. He's probably can be had for not a whole lot. We don't have to give up a ton. I don't know where else they're going to go, type of players, but I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow. If Lamont Wade Jr. continues to roll him out there in the lineup just because you're facing a righty. Giants don't face a lefty till next Sunday. That's 6 more games.
Wow.
Or 3 in Detroit, 3 in Miami. Yeah. The 6th game they face Ryan Weathers on Sunday, the last day of the road trip. Are you telling me that you're going to go with Wade every game just because you're facing a righty, and you're just going to sit Matos and Schmidt, 2 of your young guys, and then when they come up and they don't produce because they finally get in the lineup once in a blue moon, you say they're not good enough to stay in the lineup? This is a joke. I mean, the Nationals today, look at the Nationals lineup facing the Giants. Robbie Ray, Abrams, a lefty, Wood, a lefty, Lowe, a lefty, Lyle, a lefty, Nunez, he was batting left.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Hassel, lefty. They don't play that bull crap.
They just throw their guys out there.
Just play your guys. Just put your best guys out there. Just because Lamont Wade hits left, crap. If I can hit left-handed, does that mean I get a shot too?
Right.
Just because I'm left-handed? Come on. Why don't we bring up Wade Meckler then to play second base? And why don't we bring up our shortstop's not hitting either? Why don't we go find some lefty down on the farm and bring him up? I mean,
Wisely?
Bring up Wisely. Yeah, just throw in lefty. This is so stupid. I just can't stand it. Just play the guys that actually have the talent and let them get themselves acclimated. It's a timing game, guys need to see at bats on a regular basis.
I tell you what, have we seen enough of Wade to make a determination that, hey, maybe it's time to make a move at first base? Move him to the bench and put somebody else at first base. We've seen enough, haven't we? It's not early no more. He's not early.
You know what his batting average is?
Like 170 something, right?
164. Do you think Casey Schmidt can hit 164?
Yeah, better.
I think he can.
Yeah.
Heck, might even be a slight improvement. He might hit 174. But, I do think Casey would hit over 200 easily. I really do.
And I'll tell you what, what he does, Dan? Hard. I was just going to say that. Lou, you were just talking about weak contact. One thing Schmidt isn't doing, he is not hitting the ball with weak contact. He puts the barrel to the ball, and he gets, even his outs are pretty damn loud. I've been impressed in what the kid has been able to do. They asked him to play a position that he's never played before, and he's learning it at the MLB level. I would just say, well, you can't be any worse, right? It can't be any worse. Or you do this. You put Wade on the IL. Put Wade on the IL. I think Dallas talked about it. Figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, well, then guess what? We give you your opportunity to figure it out. And if you can't get it done, well, then we're just going to have to let you go. It's results oriented, man, period.
Yeah. There's nothing personal. It's all just a results oriented game. I mean, I just don't understand, if this is, I think it's Melvin's call. I don't think it's Buster's call, but is Melvin just going to, Wade there's no loud contact. It's just pop-ups
and weak grounders.
Yeah. And
he's had he's had a couple here and there that have gone to I think he had that triple in San Fran, but
and then they still got 2 roster spots on the 40 open, don't they? Aren't they at 38?
One of them is going to be Gerard. Supposedly he's coming back during the Miami series, right?
So he's 39. You don't even have to drop anybody off the 40.
No, you don't.
So I wonder what the extra spot is for.
That makes me wonder, what is that all about? You got 2 extra spots. One of them being Gerard. What is the other one? What are they waiting for?
Yeah.
What's up, Helidus?
And I don't think Wade can be sent down without being DFA'd. I don't think he has any options. So
I don't think he has any options left.
You'd have to have some kind of injury where he can go on a, IL rehab deal, see if he can recapture something.
Do you think Melvin just has an affinity for veterans? Could be, right? Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. Melvin, his first year with the A's, he started like 3 or 4 rookies.
Didn't he
pitching rotation?
Yeah, right. I was just going to say.
And they won the division on the last day against, I think they beat out Texas in, I want to say 2012 or something. They started a bunch of and their defense, Eric Chavez at third, and he played Chapman when he came up. He played Olsen. I don't know what the deal is. The Giants, I just don't know what their answer is with hitting, because
it's a little,
it's all up and down the organization. There's nobody hitting in Sacramento for average.
No, there is no one hitting for average in Sacramento. The only one, you got guys down in Double-A and High-A who are taking care of business.
Yeah.
But that's too far away, man. You can't make that jump from Double-A to the major league. Look, only special people can do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
At least Luciano's having some power. I think he's got like 9 homers down there.
He's got a lot. His batting average and his strikeout rate is through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem. And it's going to get exposed when he comes up to the MLB. That's the problem. I think he's sitting like at a 35% strikeout rate in Sacramento.
Is he being a little facetious here? Wade's pinky is having some tightness.
There you go.
Long rehab assignment.
Exactly, Dallas. Yeah, you were talking about that last night. 100%. You figure out something because right now.
But Eric and Dan, right now we're not the second best team in the NL West when they're hitting. My question is, how long is Buster going to wait before he actually does something? Is he going to wait till the trade deadline? Is he going to do something now? Especially, with Lamont, because I believe me and Dan spoke about this yesterday. This is where Buster has to forget about friendship. Yes. And it's all business.
Yes.
And, Dan brings up a great point. Do we got to wait another 6 games? So say he goes 0 for 20. He's going to be 140. How is that going to improve us? Because then we come home where nobody hits and we play San Diego for 4. It's getting to the point now where it's big, and I think maybe it's come to the point, where we've given him enough and it's just not working out. It's just
correct.
Business.
How many at-bats has he got now? Holy crap. He's up there, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what his at-bats are for the season. I'll pull.
When I looked at him about 2 weeks ago, I think he was already at 100. So, or no, was it? Yeah, I think he was at 100 a week or so ago.
Wade he's at 134 at-bats.
Come on.
And I don't know if that counts today. I'm not even sure if it
may not count today. If it's Baseball Reference, usually it takes a day or two.
Yeah, ESPN. I think he's 134 at bats.
So it'll be 150 by end of next week. And if he doesn't show anything, 150 is enough.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
That's plenty. That's more than plenty. Hey, we got a super chat. Shake and Bake donates $5. Dan, Eric, and Lou, what do you want to see trade-wise at the deadline to improve this team? Look, we're 2 months away, and I get it. It's exciting right now because you could see potential in this team.
I want to see a guy that makes consistent contact, that, drives in runs. Ideally, it would be great if you could get a guy that has some speed, power, but how do you find that? I mean, do you take a shot on a guy like Luis Robert, who's having a horrible, horrible season?
Ooh, I don't know,
He's
man.
only got 5 homers. He's hitting below 200. He'd fit right in. But, I mean, you might be able to steal the guy, and maybe he figures it out in a different setting. I don't know, because he's so talented, but he's, some guys are just having awful seasons. Juan Soto's having a sucky season. Juan Soto's hitting in the low 230s.
Yes, he is. But he also started off slow when he went to San Diego, and then he
picked it up.
Look, he's got a back of the baseball card. He's gonna produce.
Right.
And how about this? Do you see where the Giants could both buy and sell?
If they did it strategically, I suppose.
Right.
I think they're going to have to, if they're, depending on where they are at the end of July, they're going to have to, I mean, we haven't even reached June yet, right? We're at May 25th today. Mm-hmm. So you still got all of June, all of July. It's crazy. We played 50 some odd games. What did we say? 53?
53, I think you said, yeah.
Are they going to end up playing close to 100, but the All-Star at the trade deadline? I think it is. It's over 100. There's I
think so.
Pretty bad.
And then it's the last 2 months. You're basically, it's 2 months, 60 games, right around there.
Yeah. Dang. It's going to be.
Again, it's a way to jumpstart your organization if you're lacking somewhere. I mean,
yeah.
You got a bunch of youth of arms down in the farm. You really do. I mean, you could do that. I mean, because look at this way the pitching is right now. It's just absolutely this bullpen, Dan. Holy crap, dude! Once the bullpen comes into the game, it's except for when Ryan Walker comes in. I'm still worried about Ryan Walker.
Yeah.
But Randy Rodriguez, Camilo Duvall, Tyler Rogers. My God, man, those guys come in, forget about it, man. The Giants are if you're in the lead, you could just chalk up a win as long as, like I said, Walker, man, he likes to make it interesting.
Yeah, Fuji says the potential price for Hoskins might be too high.
Maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people are probably going to be after a guy like Hoskins. Teams that are looking for a little bit of power. I just don't know what. I mean, the Giants have the assets to go get a Hoskins. They've got guys,
They do.
I'm not giving up, no Birdsong, Roop, or Harrison for anything like that. I'd give up a Mason Black, something like that. I'm not giving up Wiz and Hunt, anything like that for,
The only way you're giving up a guys like that is you're getting something.
I'm getting somebody who's really a difference maker. If the Giants are going to give up on one of those young guys, you better be getting a Spencer Torkelson back at first base or something like that, which Detroit not going to give up now. The guy's got 14 homers.
No way. And they're second best record in the MLB, man.
Yep. And they waited. I said, go get him in the offseason. They didn't even have a plan for Torkelson. They were going to play Colt Keith at first base because they had Gleyber Torres penciled in at second. So Torkelson was an afterthought. They were pretty much like, hey, we don't have a spot for him. And then Torres gets hurt. So they need Torkelson. He gets off to a great start and he's continuing it. Now the price has gone way up and
forget about it. And they're they're absolutely freaking taking care of business.
I just shake and bake. Shake and bake.
$2 says Lou. What's your take at the deadline?
Well, I think one of the things we have to consider, if they don't get rid of late night, which I believe they should, we have 2 other free agents that aren't going to be here next year. So we got to consider possibly moving them. And that'd be Wilmer, who's going to be a free agent after this year, and Yaz. So now if we're going to talk about what I would do, I'd probably go after someone like Boston, who has a guy that doesn't want to play first base, is very upset at the team. Boston right now is very overrated in the East. They're going nowhere quickly. I would consider
he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, but Devers? I would think Devers.
No, Bregman.
Yeah,
is hurt.
Bregman's out.
And they're gonna start tanking. So maybe go after Devers with Yaz and maybe one of our pitchers, because you got to remember, but Yaz we're not going to sign for $11 million next year, so he's going to walk. Wilmer Flores, I don't think he's ever been higher. We're not going to bring him back. So you got to consider, since we have literally 3 free agents, we're going to have to move them or try to get something, or they're just going to walk. And imagine our team without those guys. How bad it would be. Yaz is having a great year. Imagine if he wasn't with us. Imagine if Wilmer wasn't with us early. So, we have to think about that. But I would, if Baltimore is going to just sit on their hands and not do anything, and they're going to tank, that's fine. Then we got to try somebody else. And I believe someone like Boston, where, we get a bat, where obviously he wouldn't play first. But you know what? We can have other guys play first. You have Schmidt. Like I said, Fitzgerald makes contact. You can maybe move him over. Give Devers whatever he wants. But you got to start thinking now, because when you look at the NL right now is better than the AL. So there's a lot of teams that are hot, that are right where the Giants are. We can't do what Farhan did, Eric's favorite, wait till the very, 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 very last second. We have to be proactive and make a move to make our team better than waiting. Because there are other teams in the same scenario that are going to make moves. We just have to be first if we're serious. If Buster says, hey, guys, we're going to go for it, then, prove us wrong.
That's a great point.
Yeah, it'll be, when the Giants won in 10, 12, and 14, they had Posey. They had other guys that would hit. You had guys like Pence. You had Sandoval. Well, Pence was there in 12 and 14. and same with Crawford, 12-4. You didn't have like auto outs, right?
Right.
Like,
correct.
The lineup, even though it wasn't a torturous, a lineup that you feared, they made more contact. This team just doesn't make a lot of contact.
Speaking of contact, have you been following Marco Scudero on Twitter? Fantastic follow. Guys, if you haven't followed freaking Marco Scudero on Twitter, dude, he is so awesome, man. He roasts so many people, dude. It's awesome.
Does he
can't
really?
stand the Yankees. He cannot stand the Yankees. Oh, dude.
Oh, that's great.
It's great. But to your point, guys like that, right? You want guys that are just going to make contact, put the ball in play. And Scudero, one thing he was great at, it wasn't just contact. It was like frozen rope liners that he was giving you, man. Gosh, dang, I missed that.
He won us. He won us to, when you really think about 100%. It, without him, AK Blockbuster,
100%.
We wouldn't have won it. He had so many big hits. I think he batted, like, after we acquired him, something like
400. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. So
the guy was just awesome.
Great pickup, Eric. I didn't know he even had something, but there's a guy that was I don't remember when the guy struck out. He always made contact. Yeah.
Yes.
So great call.
Yeah, they need to go out and do something to, and they're still not giving guys like Chapman and Adames days off. I don't know.
They need to.
Koss is sitting on the end of the bench. He played pretty well.
He did
on the homestand, and then I don't think he's played he didn't play. We didn't see him in the series in Washington. Did we even see Matos in the series?
No. I didn't see Matos once in this series.
The only non-person would have been Huff, because a day game after a night game. And of course, he had
Huff,
a big blow
Huff
today,
with the big home run today.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're not giving Adames just like, hey, take a day off.
Take a day,
man. You're not producing. Give the kid a chance just to stay fresh in Koss at short. You need to, and going back to Wade just needs to just take a couple days off and then come up in pinch hit situation or whatever. He's just, gosh. I mean, how do you hit 160?
I know. And look at this. Philip. What's up, Philip Coppola? He goes, the team average in 2012 was 260. Did you know that team would be the best team in the major leagues right now? Probably. If a team had an average like that today, would probably be the best damn team in the major leagues.
Oh yeah. The highest batting average. I was looking at statistics the other day, and team batting average right now for, let me see if I can pull that up.
What's it? The MLB average?
Batting average. I had it. I thought it was. So I was checking just last night on the show. Player team. Okay, here we go. Team batting average 264. The Cubs lead all of baseball. 264. The Giants are at 242.
220. Or is it 240? I think they were ranked like 20th or something like that, right? Or
yeah, they're ranked 24th.
Yeah.
24th. 234. So
OPS, they're ranked 20th. But pitching, they're ranked number 4.
Yeah.
They're ranked number 4 in pitching.
Yeah.
Big difference. Disparity is huge.
Yeah. They are doing very well. I mean, RBIs, the Giants are doing okay. They're 11th despite, they're 11th in baseball in RBIs.
Because of okay, take Flores out, and then where are they? It's one guy. Because everyone else isn't really got a whole bunch of RBI numbers.
Yeah, I don't even think anybody has close to 30. I think Chapman and Adames are in the mid 20s.
25? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I saw MLB trade rumors. Yankees are looking for rotation help, supposedly. Imagine that. But does the Yankees have anyone that you really want? See what I'm saying? I mean,
give them Hicks and a box of chocolates, and we'll take anybody on their team.
Anybody.
I mean, anybody. It doesn't
What
matter.
about Ben Rice? Ben Rice at first base? I don't think they would give. I don't think they'd give up Chisholm. I don't think they'd depart with Chisholm. They might depart with Rice though, because they got Goldschmidt.
That's true.
Rice better hitter than
get that phone working,
Wade.
Bust.
They might. I'm hoping that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean the Giants, like Philip says, they were ranked 16th in 2010 in hitting. So as long as they're in the middle of the pack, but if they're they just can't be anemic where they don't.
Right. You cannot go through an entire season being 24th in baseball for batting average. You just can't. Look, batting average. Batting average. I know a lot of people don't hold the batting averages as a stat that holds any type of role, but it does. It still has some importance. OPS, if you want to look at that, of course, how well you hit in a clutch. I get it. But the thing is, how is the Giants pitching in 2010? It's pretty good, I think.
The Giants are 21st in OPS at 689.
Yes, that's horrible. That tells you not only are they not hitting for average, they're not hitting for power either.
689. My goodness.
I know, dude. That's horrible.
Yankees are 821, Dodgers 802, the Cubs 796. You want to be over 700.
You want to be over 700. They're not even over 700 with OPS.
Not even that great.
Look at the Giants lineup. There's only a few guys who are at 800 or close. I think it's Ramos, Yaz, and Lee, and that's it.
And I'm not high on. I'm really not. I'm not. I know Flores has had some big moments, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to consistently hit home runs. I think he's a streaky home run hitter. He gets in little grooves, but I don't see Flores as a guy that's just going to, be this huge home run hitter for the Giants. We'll see. I mean, he is more of a clutch hitter, though. He
is a clutch hitter, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Senior? Go ahead, Luke. Go for it.
Oh, sorry. You know what I was going to say is tonight I was watching. I had two TVs going, the hoop game and then the baseball game, but they show runners in scoring position. The Dodgers, with their horrible pitching, as we know, they're on their 21st pitcher tonight, different starter. So obviously they're going to do whatever it takes to come back. But they're batting .312 with runners in scoring position. The Mets were batting .207. I didn't see where the Giants are, but that tells me, the difference. And if you looked at it, look at the Mets record where they're batting .217 with the runners scoring position, and then look at our record. So we can only have our pitching, go for so long. So obviously, I think we're probably closer to the Mets than obviously the Dodgers. But when you get these close games, what are you going to do? You got to come through, and you got to make contact. This whole series, we, if you notice today, guys, Giants went up 3-0, right? They didn't get a hit. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. Nothing. Not even one hit after they scored. One of the big things we argued about last year was add-ons. You got to keep adding on. This team doesn't add on. They get a lead, and then we hope they can survive and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this 9th inning was pretty scary. We got lucky by 2 feet, or that ball's down the line. The game's tied.
Oh yeah, that was.
But it's about time we get a little luck. But it's just one of those things where, last year was a big problem where we just couldn't add on. We'd be up 4-0 and we'd lose 6-5 because we just couldn't get the add-on runs. And when I saw that stat tonight, where the Dodgers are having problems, but they're batting .312, they just got to get runners on because they get them in. We have the problem once we get runners on, batting them in. So, we come up a third of the season, we still have a few holes that we need to fill. And, I don't think we can wait until the end of July, but we're going to have to make some, big moves. And again, it's just all business. And, hopefully Buster can actually do this and the fans will understand, it's all about making the playoffs and getting there. If you're going to hurt guys' feelings, then you shouldn't be in his position. So,
yeah.
What do you make of this? What Senior says, Dan? I don't know. I think it might be a good call to pull Eldridge straight from AA, low expectations. If he fails, you could send him back without hurting him. Is it low expectations, though? I think because the Giants are in the middle of it. You're putting a lot of pressure on the kid, aren't you?
I think it puts a lot of pressure on him because I don't think he's ready. He strikes out a lot. I think let him
let him keep working
let him break the door down. I think Posey's going to do. Posey knows the type of pressure because he lived it.
Right. He understands,
and he knew when he was ready. And I think when the time's right, he'll be here. And I don't think you want to bring him up to send him back down.
You're right.
When he comes up, I think you want him
to stay up. Yeah, not right. Exactly. And I think that's probably why they're doing that, why they did the decision with the spot in the rotation. I don't think they wanted to bring up Wisenhunt because they probably want him to stick and stay rather than just come up for 2 or 3 starts and then you're right back down. Right. And then you create an issue, right? You create an issue with, wow, what are we doing with Verlander? Because you ain't getting rid of Verlander. Your Verlander's sticking. He's sticking around. Right. You ain't going to move him off the spot. But now, if the Giants are completely out of it come September time and you want to call them up for a cup of coffee, I'm okay. Again, because then there's no pressure. But when you're in the race, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I want to see him, though. Don't get me wrong. I want to see the guy out there taking swings at Oracle Park. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt. When the time's right, the Giants can't afford to miss on him. They cannot afford.
They cannot afford to miss on him.
No, if they miss on him, that'll be like the last 6-7 number 1 picks. I mean, think about it. You had Hunter Bishop, Will Bednar, Reggie Crawford, all 3 of them kind of bust. Bart didn't make it, with Joey Bart. Trying to think of some of the other number 1s. Patrick Bailey, he was a number 1. He's great catcher, but a bust offensively.
Oh, he cannot swing that bat. He can't.
I mean, you got to figure out somebody that's going to become a top hitter. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Senior. There's no expectation for him to produce, but just the fact that he would be here, there would be an expectation on him. It just would come. It would just everybody would.
Hyped. He's all hyped up. Yeah,
it'd be hype. Everybody'd be expecting Eldridge bombs every time he comes up.
Yes,
and if he starts striking out like he hit a bomb his first at bat in spring training, then went and struck out 11 or 12 straight times, and they were okay. We're sending you down to minor league camp. You got to remember he wasn't a college player. He was high school.
Yeah.
And he's only what? Is this his
20?
Third year?
He's only 20.
This is his 3rd year as a pro?
Second, right? Second year, right?
Second or third?
Last year, yeah, because you moved through the minors all last year. Remember, he went from low A all the way to triple A.
Yeah. It's not like Nick Kurtz.
It's a second year.
Not like Nick. Yeah, not like Nick Kurtz, who was a skilled college hitter for years. And he's obvious, or Will Clark was a great college hitter and he was ready. Didn't need a lot of minor league tune-up.
Right.
These high schoolers, they need some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dan and Eric, one of the things I know Dan talks about is strikeouts. Chapman this year is striking out 30.1% of the time. But starting it's 26 or something. But just say 30.
If you go on plate appearances, it's 26.5. If you go on just at bats, it's
at
30.
bats. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right. So Eldridge with his past, how many? He'd be like at 40% because he's never seen pitches like he would see in the Major League. That's why you got to give him time.
Yes.
And it's one of those things. You got to remember he'd go to a team that everyone would look at him. Hey, we need you. I mean, do you know how much pressure that would be? I'm glad what the Giants are doing right now. Take your time because it's not this year. It's your whole future you got to think about.
Yeah. You get 2. That's it. You can't bring up the entire freaking minor leagues. You only got that. It only expands to 28. It used to remember
that the old 40. They used to have like, I remember like 10, 15 years ago, there was 40 and you'd have like 8 pitching changes in an inning.
Yeah.
Like
I remember that. Every batter, new pitcher.
Every batter. All right, we're gonna try this lefty against this situation. It's like, okay, you got the whole. You had like 19 pitchers on the roster
from September.
Dugout wasn't big enough.
Season, it's like 4-hour games, man. Golly.
The old 40.
But I tell you, I mean, it's fun watching a team because the team's winning. The pitching is just
even though they're not exciting to watch as far as offensively, the games are more enjoyable because they're meaningful games.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like you line up and you look forward to the game and you go, okay, well, you're in this game. And, you know, when they broke out and they got that lead, I kind of felt like, okay, they're probably going to hold it.
Yep.
Probably going to hold it.
Until Walker came in. Should we just make Doval? Can we just make Doval just?
Oh gosh, Walker to me is like a sixth inning guy.
And look, and that was and those weren't just dribblers. That was some solid contact. That was Brett or Lowe just missed winning that game. He just missed winning that game.
If you look at his pitches, they are outside to the lefties, and they were just going with it. All those ones, and the ball had no movement. It was just
straight fastball.
Straight, yeah. And you can time that up easily, especially when it's away from you. And if you're going up there with the strategy of I'm just going to go with the pitch. Did you notice the first hits were left? They were all left field.
Lefties.
Yeah,
all left
field. They're all lefties going to left field.
Yep, lefties going to left. Yep.
What do you got to do if you're pitching? You know what you got to do? You got to come up high and tight, right under the chin.
Yeah.
And you got to get them off the plate.
Get him off the plate.
And you got to start
go back
pitching
to the outside.
Yeah,
correct.
I mean, but he's throwing that ball waist high, maybe just above the waist, which is such a great spot as a hitter because you see it the whole way. It's like basketball coming incoming basketball, right? Because you just see it and you just stick your bat out there and just punch it. It's such, oh man, I loved a pitch when I was playing that was on the outside corner, just go to right field because you see it so well. You don't have to, move your hands in, adjust. You just step right into it.
Just throw the bat out there.
Yeah. Golly. And Walker, I don't know how, how you say, oh, he got the job done. And the results were he got the job done. But if you look at the real results, he got lucky.
Yeah, right.
He got lucky.
Right.
He really blew the save.
Right.
He blew the save. He just the hitter did his job. It just went foul by a foot.
Yep.
His ERA is 5.21 now. It's getting up there. 5.21.
And he's lucky it's not back up over 6. If that run would have scored, I don't know where it would have went, but
and hey, chat, and then Robert, I got to ask you a question. You keep talking about how great this team is. We're only one game out. Why are you not buying squares to go see the Giants in the front row?
We got squares. We got to do those squares.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why are you not buying squares? You have nobody, a fan in the Bay Area that you can give the game to. 4 front row seats for a Giants game and a $50 gift certificate for Capos where I went tonight. Come on, Robert. If you can talk the game, buy a couple, buddy.
There you go. Hey, guys, that's a great segue. Thanks, Lou. That's perfect. Guys, let's not forget, we're trying to help this young lady. We're trying to generate up $2,000. And how we're doing that is we're selling squares, $20 a square, for your chance to win 4 tickets at the front row of a Giants game right next to the Giants dugout. We'll go ahead and play this promo, and we'll talk more about it. Here we go.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right, there you go, guys. Again, the most important thing is helping this young lady in her situation that she's dealing with. So look, donate $20 to help, and hey, you get a little added bonus. You might win a chance to win those 4 tickets. And like Lou said, we don't have it in the slide, but Capos has stepped up. Or actually, it's Tony's Pizza, right? Is that who it actually is, through Tony's Pizza? They stepped up. They're going to donate a $50.
Tony G, who owns both, but Capos themselves, the Tony and the general manager, Grace, says, hey, I want to help. So they gave us a $50 gift certificate. So, hey, before the game, you can go there. Even if you don't use it before, I just went there tonight. An amazing pizza place. If you like Chicago style, Detroit style, tell Grace, you're a friend of mine or you're a friend of the show's. She'll take care of you. They love us there. They wanted to help out. And, it's funny with Kristen Beck back up on the major. I'm actually going to go to Tommy's this weekend to see if they might give us something. So we're going to try to help out, but it's not worth it unless you guys buy the squares. And I'm going to tell you one thing again. I really want to thank Megan, Kennedy's aunt. She's been really helping us out. She has people watching the hot corner. So if you're in Carson City or Reno, hello, welcome. And she's really trying to tell everyone, hey, let's help out. So guys, you might not know it, but there's going to be a time where the people up in Reno and Carson City that want to help Haley are going to buy all the remaining squares and you're going to be left out. So I just wanted to let you know,
Yeah,
and I know there's some,
you don't
so
have a lot of
wait.
options.
Yeah.
All right. And here we go. This is the updated, Mark. I saw what you're saying. When I put the video together, I just used what we had at that particular time. This is the current squares. And I see Scott Fowler. Looks like he just sent a Venmo. Hey, do you have, if you sent the Venmo, again, that's going to go towards, to Ibrahim Khan, who's our treasurer. He's taking care of all the money for us. He's doing a great job. Let us know what number you want. And we'll go from there. But there we go. That's the current updated squares for this fundraiser. So you guys see a number out there that you like and you want to you got $20 in your pocket. Hey, it goes to a great cause.
Is there something special on there for 28, 38, 48, and 58? Why they have a special
the bigger whites?
You know why? Because they messed up when they created the squares. They doubled up the numbers. Where it says 28, it was 38. Where it says 38, it was like 48? 28. Oh, it was all messed up. It was. So
wow.
I had to fix it.
Okay. Hey, 28, Buster Posey, guys.
I can't believe that one is still up there.
That one's still up there. Juan Marichal, 27's up there. 45. That was my old Terry Whitfield. Let's see. What else we got up there? We got double nickels taken for Lincecum already.
18, Matt Cain still out there.
No, the only perfect game in San Francisco Giants history.
Look at the 18 Cain, 28 Posey, 38 Wilson. My goodness.
And then Eric, you saw Abraham says Scott wants 85. He got the money. So 85.
85. Okay, I'll go update that right now.
Going for George Kittle. That's a Kittle number. Hey, look, Joe Montana is up there, number 16. Still.
Oh, well, there you go.
Come on.
My gosh.
You got to go for the all-time greats.
Absolutely.
And I do know, guys, I'm going to speak on behalf of Glenn. First of all, I hope everything's okay with his family. Glenn, you're missed. But Glenn's personally got a friend that's going to take 5 squares, who's literally just going to donate the money he wants to help out. I know somebody of the broadcast is also going to take 5 squares. So really there's 10 less numbers that is shown. So jump on it now. And like I said, some people in Carson City have been reaching out. They're going to get a bunch, guys. Before you know it, it's going to be gone. So just remember you're one day. Guys, you might be seeing a first place team, front row, and you get to go on the field. I mean, my God.
That's easy. Right.
We're trying to make it easy. Yeah.
And your name goes up on the scoreboard too, right?
Wow.
Doing the Giants, we're trying to even do more. If you have kids and you're going with kids, the Giants are going to probably throw a couple bobbleheads in. So, it's for a great cause. My God. And if worse comes to worse, guys, in literally 4 weeks, Father's Day, buy your dad a couple of squares. Hey, Dad, guess what? I won the raffle for Father's Day. I'm going to take you to a Giants game in August. My God, how great. I know you guys, your dad's probably done you a million things, but let's go. Let's step up. Great cause. Front row Giants game. What else do you need?
There you go. Absolutely. Where the heck is this? I'm going to have to get rid of one of these here. Which one do I want to? You got a lot of stuff in here. I'm trying to figure out so I can, what? I know what I could do. Hold on. I don't have to do that. Someone wants to know the Venmo. Here you go. Let me do it this way.
Yeah,
way
I was going to
easier.
pull that up myself there, trying to get that.
I could get it right here. Where the hell is it? It's right. I think this is the Venmo. Yep, there's Venmo right there. Hold on. All I got to do is this. Share. There's the Venmo. There you go.
You got a Venmo and you also got a Zelle.
Yeah, exactly. We got Venmo or Zelle, whatever you guys prefer.
Yep. So just scan that with your phone, you get the QR code, and you can send it right there. Venmo. The Zelle is available as well. In fact, I will pull up there's your Venmo, guys, right there. And if you want to do Zelle, it's right here. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
And big. Scan that and just there you go. Take a photo of it now, and it's in your right there. And I'll go right to Ibrahim, and then you just tell him in the comment section it's for a square or squares and the numbers that you are wanting. There you go. Venmo and Zelle. All right. You guys that are thinking about doing it, you're going to go, I'll do it next week. And then next week will come along, and then you're going to go, maybe next week. And then all of a sudden the squares are going to be gone, and you're going to go, shoot, should have got in on it.
Exactly.
So there's the Zelle. All right. This team, they go to Detroit for
it's gonna be tough.
And then I don't understand baseball scheduling. They go to Washington. You're on the East Coast. You just passed Detroit to get to Washington, and now you're going to come back to Detroit. Then you're going to go straight back down to Miami.
I know. It's weird.
It's like you should have went to Detroit and then Miami or Washington and then Miami, whatever. But they don't have an off day until Thursday. So Detroit will miss Casey Mize and Skubal. They're two better pitchers. I mean, so that's good. So the Giants have a shot of going in there, and with their pitching, you're going to have Webb and Birdsong in this series, right?
So Birdsong's the first. It goes Birdsong, Webb, right? Birdsong, Webb, and who are we missing?
Let me see. I'll look at it up here. Probably Roop.
Roop. Yeah, Roop.
Okay, so tomorrow.
Birdsong, Webb, Roop, I think.
Yeah, tomorrow it's Birdsong against Kiter Montero. And then on Tuesday, it is Logan Webb against Jack Flaherty. And on Wednesday, it is Landon Roop against Jackson Jobe. So you've got an opportunity. Jobe's a rookie. Roop's somewhat of a rookie. So you've got a chance to take 2 of 3, really. And if they can do that, that's what you want. You just win these series. So, I mean, they dodged a bullet by missing Skubal. I mean, that was
yes, they did.
Huge.
Got to take advantage of it. I think Detroit has the most wins at home with 18. I think they're 18-8, but they lost 2 out of 3 recently. So really, they were 17-6 going into this weekend. So it's not going to be an easy thing. You got to remember, Detroit made the playoffs last year. They got better, and they're now a top tier team in the American League. So just remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be. Fuji.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks, Ibrahim. Yeah, I asked him, and he said he'd be more than willing to help. And Lou, absolutely. And then Ibrahim, he thanks. We wouldn't be able to do this without Lou, man. I tell you, you were gracious enough to donate your tickets. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool.
That's
really
awesome.
Really
and
cool.
We do everything we can to try to promote it as best as we can.
Yeah.
So,
and guys, like I've said before, we're going to do this every year. So if anyone has something of a good cause, last year Eric had a friend, we stepped up. If Dan has a friend next year, maybe himself after he gets his next hit, we don't know. But no, hey guys, we're here. We're here for the fun. I think we're all pretty blessed that we can do it. Guys, we wouldn't be anywhere without the chat. I mean, we would just be BS3 on the phone. So, the chat, we want to get back to you and we want to get back to the public. And, it's sort of amazing because I think what's been pretty special, because I've known Eric, I think now for 3 years, Dan probably for 3 years, we've grown a good friendship, but we do it through sports. We try not to let our personal lives get in the way. I mean, hey, sometimes I'm negative, but, being a fan, I think I deserve to be a little negative. Somebody in the chat asked me if I got thrown out of my seats. Yeah, it was last year. I got escorted out, even though my seats were there. And I was furious because we had a reliever that gave up 4 runs in the top of the 9th. I didn't care. He didn't care that he gave up the runs. Nobody said a word. I went right up to him and I was giving him the finger. I mean, this, not the other finger. Telling him how sloppy he was. Players looked at me like, hey, who's this clown? They asked me to sit down. I sat down courtesy, and then I stood right back up because the coaches tried to talk to him. He didn't give a damn. All he cared about is, okay, I'm just going to go take a shower. I don't want to hear from anybody. But you know what? When you're a pro ball player, you have 2 things. You wear the SF on your jersey. You should be respecting the fans, always giving them time to give autographs. That's why I always think, these guys that maybe do autographs and take photos are so superior. Because then you get these other guys that just don't give a damn. They're only there for the paycheck. Well, you know what? I don't want a guy on my team like that. Like right now, it's amazing. Who they are. You see these guys, it's all about the money, but I like it when, someone like Buster, when he lets down, oh my God, I let the team down. If you want to see what Buster gained me respect is when he got injured and he was on crutches. He still was at every game. He felt he let the Giants down. The next year he came back, and that was his big year. Comeback player of the year. He won the batting title. That's what a true superstar is. So, it's one of the things. Hey, guys, and if you win the square, you can do the exact same thing as me. You can go on and say what you want, because they're not going to know who you are the next game. Just go up and give it what it is. But that's what's so great about those seats. The other day I got a foul ball. We got 3. We got 3. We left with 3 balls the other day. Very lucky.
Damn.
But it's one of those things. And I sent Eric a video because I know sometimes you guys say photos can be doctored. But I'd sent him a video of what it was just the other day. Guys, there's nothing like it. And I'll make you a deal.
Nothing like it.
Horrible phrase. The one thing is our guy from Sacramento who won last year, he kitchen always handy, says, right? Hey, Lou, I wanted to, kitchen handy. I want to go to another game. If you win and you call me up or email me, hey, Lou, I want to take my family. I don't charge people more for the tickets. I give it face value because it's a family thing. I take the face value and then I throw it back in a pool. I always try to help people out. But when you win and you get to see it, you're going to want it more. It's like a drug. Oh my God, that's that good. So guys, come on, it's $20. It's 2 lattes in the morning. I
there
know
you go. That's true.
That's it. 2
100%.
lattes. Instead, you get to go to a ball game. And it's
today,
a Friday night
that's
game.
a Big Mac meal. That's a Big Mac meal in today's dollars.
Yeah.
Man.
Did you guys see the U.S. Won the World Cup hockey or something like that?
Hockey, yeah.
Switzerland.
Yeah. Nice. Right on.
Hey, speaking of, I saw some stuff in the chat about, thank God the Giants don't have to face James Wood and Jackson Merrill.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. You started. There it is. It was turd.
Yeah. Check this trade out. Remember that trick?
Oh, that's right.
Look at that. Where do you think the Padres would be right now if they didn't trade C.J. Abrams, Hassel III, James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, and to get Soto? And I guess when they traded Soto, what'd they get back? They got Michael King, and they get anybody else out of that deal? Somebody else. But man, Washington, I still think Washington is, going to be an up and coming team because they're playing these young guys. And
the guy they traded to the Cubs, that guy is going to be rookie of the year. Have you seen his stats this year?
Who, Pete Crow, Armstrong?
You better take a look at him. Have you looked
I
at
don't
him
think
recently?
I don't think he's a rookie though.
He's not a rookie no more. Yeah,
but he's going to be in the MVP race.
Dude,
MVP,
no
okay.
kidding.
Yeah.
Good God.
I mean, he is right now. The Chicago are all on his back, and he is Studville.
Yep.
No,
the
man.
freaking Cubs are for real, man.
Yeah,
they're going to probably make a move for pitching. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And you know what they did too? They took a chance on Tucker.
They did.
They took a chance. And now with them winning,
it's paying off.
Maybe Tucker might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stay. You never know. You
just may.
Look what we did. It's happened before, but that's the one thing the Giants got to make that leap. They got to take a chance.
I agree. There's got to be some risk taking. You got to. Are you going to win them all? No, you're not. But you got to go out there and you got to take that risk.
Who's the guy that the Giants could realistically go after?
I looked at the free agents to be. There's not much, so they're going to have to go out there and give them up more.
I mean, if we look at the standings, the obvious team that has some hitters is Baltimore. They're 14 out. They're 18 and 34,
and they need pitching. It's a perfect marriage between the Giants.
You mentioned Boston. Boston ended up with all these young guys. They got Kristen Campbell, Marcelo Mayer, who they brought up, and they still have Roman Anthony. They have 3 top, 10 players in the top 100 minors. Campbell's up, Mayer's up now, but they lost Bregman, who might be out for significant time.
They're saying maybe 50 games, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened a couple years ago. And
that's exactly what they said. It's a similar injury.
Yeah. But who's at the bottom of the league that, the Marlins, they got that, the Marlins got that guy Stowers, and he was with Baltimore too. Did you know that?
Yes, they traded him last year.
Yes,
last year.
And he's one of
when
the
I went to
players.
the Giants game, he planted one in the visiting bullpen at the back wall. Crushed it, dude. He absolutely annihilated. It was off of Webb too.
How about the Rockies? Who could you get from the Rockies? A Ryan McMahon. He could.
Hunter Goodman's pretty good.
Yeah, the catcher. Yeah,
catcher and outfielder. Yeah.
Pirates. Do they got anybody you can go after?
How about the man who just hit the
123 miles per hour?
Oh my God! Into the Allegheny, man.
Jeez.
And then
I think 16 is available.
When you bring up Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's going nowhere. What are they going to do about Skeens? Everyone keeps saying he might be on the block.
I guess they said no.
Make a move.
I guess the brass from Pittsburgh said it ain't happening, but
because they'd have no one else to go to. But what about if he is on the block? Would the Giants give up 2 young studs and a starter for a franchise guy?
Would you give up Eldridge? That's what it's going to take. Would you give up Eldridge to get Skeens? Yeah, and he's only going to be part of it.
I think Skeens might be one of the best players.
I know,
one
man.
of the best pitchers we've seen in 10 years. Because one is proven, the other one is not.
Correct. That's the point I keep making. One of them's proven, the other one is not.
Yep.
Oh my God, it would be Timmy all over again.
I mean, now you have him, Ray, and Webb. Now, right there. Now they're the best.
Forget about
it. They're the best starters and bullpen.
16 for Phillip. He's going to go with
see it.
Joe.
Doing it right now. Right on. Thank you, Phillip.
Way to go, Philip. Thank you.
Bub Raz says no way giving up on Eldridge. It's
I
tough.
would give to get Skeens. I'm doing it.
It's really
I'm
tough
doing it,
because
man.
there's no guarantee that Eldridge makes it. But then if he does, you kick yourself. You know, I still remember the Giants trading George Foster in the 70s to the Reds. And the guy hits 50 home runs. MVP.
Sure, 51. Yeah.
51. He's the MVP.
Did you ever hear Vince's story about that?
I kind of
when he was still doing his wrestling stuff, he ran into George Foster.
Okay.
He only said 2 words to him. The name of the guy that he traded for. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, some pitcher, Vern. I can't remember the guy.
He just said, yeah, it was funny. I was like, man, that's pretty good. He said, that's always, he just said that. And then the guy he said, Foster just laughed. That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. It's
yeah, that's the other thing. You still have 4.5 more years of schemes.
I know.
You know, and you're not paying them. That's why you can go for it.
Problem is Skeens. It's such a risk with pitchers. They get a Tommy John.
I agree.
It is.
They get a Tommy John.
He's built like a
pitcher.
Matt Cain combined.
Yes, he's got the physical attributes to be a starting pitcher. Just does.
But as we know, he might be having a little tough time. I mean, he did pitch great the other day, but as Dan always said, women weaken legs. He just got married this offseason.
Oh,
so.
he got that gymnast. What's
a gymnast? If you remember Seinfeld, a gymnast.
LSU.
Yeah. So.
And then, but could you imagine him pitching in Oracle Park though? Oh my God, dude.
Vern, that's it. Gieshart and Frank Duffy. I remember Vern. Yeah.
I think he said Frank Duffy. He said Frank Duffy.
Oh yeah.
He goes Frank Duffy, and he said George Foster or not George, but well, yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, George Foster.
Yeah, George Foster.
Yeah. And he just started laughing. Yeah.
Yeah. You imagine you get Skeens and you have Verlander and you get Kate Upton and you get Olivia Dunn and put them on the dugout. Get the crowd fired up.
I'll always have 2 extra seats available if they need to sit by the dugout.
Sit down, Kate, Olivia, sit out here. There you go. Do you imagine?
Just trying to be a team player.
Just a team player. Lou's got one on each arm. I was watching the Mets game tonight against the Dodgers, and they were interviewing Francisco Lindor live, and then they brought his wife on, and his wife was talking to him as well. It was pretty kind of weird, you know. Wow. She was talking about their kids, him being a dad and having to change diapers and all this stuff, and I don't know. It was a little corny, I thought. Kind of. It was like,
yeah, I'm starting to get a little sick. Like they do with the NBA tonight during the playoff games. They interview them during the things. Who signed up for that? I've never heard of a league that basically you're there giving your all, you're sweating. They go, hey, we want 5 seconds between the first and second period. It's tough enough mentally to do the game, but when you're being interviewed, come on.
Yeah, yeah. They interview it before it's recorded, right? I think.
I don't know. I know the NBA's not because they're doing it. They're asking them, hey, in the first quarter when you did this. So I think that's live. I don't know about the baseball.
Yeah. Well, the baseball's live, but I thought the basketball was because the action's already started. I don't know.
Hey, because you got to remember they're delayed on TV about 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's why like when you bet in game, it's delayed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do we got here? We got Lou taking one for the team. I just saw that one. Lou taking one for the team. All the Giants fans with the, taking the,
That would be awesome. I like what Fuji, he comes with another, that one. Yeah, there you go. There
Lou,
you go.
Glenn,
Dean and Chardall. Dean's good though. Dean's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Where is Chardall? And you speak his name, he'll show up.
Yeah, he
Fuji
just pops up. I think, he pops up. And can I get the link?
Fuji, he comes in and says, imagine if they mic'd up the pitcher and the catcher next. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh,
that would be fun.
Yeah.
I'd love the catcher to be mic'd up.
Yeah.
Catcher being, because you'll hear the umpire, you'll hear the batter,
especially with the them whatever the thing is where you push that
Pitch
3
comp.
and it goes to the pitch comp. Because I watched my Arizona Wildcats win the Big 12 baseball championship yesterday, and I never realized what they do in college. They actually have
a watch,
an Apple Watch.
Yep.
A watch, yeah, and that pushes, hey, I want the fastball, and then the guy will see the fastball, and then the guy will either shake it off or do it. I'd never seen it before because I don't really watch college baseball, but it was pretty unique how they had the watch and they kept looking down at every single pitch. Had you ever seen that, Dan, before? What college players do?
I've seen
it. They actually have a watch.
They have that.
So the catcher pushes 1, 2, 3, 4 watch. He'll push 3 for a slider, and then the pitcher gets the slider, and then he knows.
Because I saw it. We went to a couple
of
JUCO games, and I saw it. It's like, what the hell is that? It's like, oh, you know what? That's freaking their pitch com. That's exactly what it is.
I never knew
Anthony,
it before.
Am I trying out for Niners kicker? Not these days, man. I could barely walk.
Oh, and there he is, of course, like clockwork.
There he is.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I swear he's got something linked in to every YouTube show where his name pops up if it's mentioned. And
absolutely.
He gets an alert. And
could you imagine if they mic'd up Robbie Ray? He couldn't. That's all you'd hear. Ooh!
Even the announcers today said they could hear it at the state capitol. Because like when he's rolling and he's pitching the fastball, he gets so into it. I mean, it was pretty funny today. It was so loud. Yeah.
It was loud. The way they had the mics set up, man, it was loud.
Yeah.
And he always does that with his lip.
I don't know whose camera crew. Maybe they were using Washington's camera crew because they didn't show the Capitol. They were talking about how they could see the Capitol from.
They usually have a camera way up there looking out, and I've never.
I was looking forward to seeing the Capitol from the stadium because I always like to see the distance.
The distance, yeah.
I mean, these new drone shots that NBC Sports Bay Area has been doing it.
Oh, at Oracle the other night was amazing. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Never seen the stadium. Just like, wow, that is breathtaking.
It is. It really showcases.
It just made the Giants for all those years that they had to play in Candlestick. It was just a cement ball. That's all it was.
Yeah,
it was a giant cement ball.
There was a lot of those. They remember Three Rivers and
Three Rivers in Philadelphia was the same.
Philadelphia and the Reds,
Cincinnati. Yeah. There are all these AstroTurf, just these
big circular,
like little circular. They look like saucers, spaceships. Just they were
playing
awful
on that
stadiums.
horrible carpet.
Yeah,
playing on that carpet. Where when it was sunny, like especially San Diego in July, it was like you could see the heat rising from the AstroTurf. It was so hot.
Nasty.
Yeah, now they've got these stadiums. I love all these stadiums. What they're doing with them and stuff. I mean, just putting them downtown. Pittsburgh looks like an awesome stadium to me.
PNC the bridge behind it, the Clemente Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah,
beautiful. And the cityscape just beyond. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then Eric, I know you were in the service. Just a quick thing, what this weekend means to you, because we wouldn't have all this without, people like you that give it up. And, I know me and Dan, we were lucky enough where we never had to do it. I still, I do one thing. I do 2 things a year. I do one where we take stray dogs in San Antonio with a couple of people in the Spurs, and we raise money and we give the service dog, once they're trained, they cost about $25,000, and we give them their service guide because there's 9 Air Force Base, and it makes me feel great. And then whenever I'm down at Del Mar, where I'll be with Dan, a lot of people don't know, but Top Gun basically
it's out there,
is
Miramar.
30 miles away. Yeah, Miramar is 30 miles away from the racetrack. And when you fly to San Diego, you see a lot of young, and I mean young guys in uniform. I always buy them lunch and say thank you. And, some of the guys say thanks. Some have no clue what you're talking about. because it's just this is like their first job and away from home. So
correct.
Why don't you just tell us a little bit? Hey, thank you for your service, and we just
Absolutely.
don't have tomorrow off because it's a Monday. It's because of what we're doing. So why don't you just tell us a little bit how you feel about it and what I know you have something to
absolutely.
put on.
It's something that you have to kind of serve to really understand. I mean, because you're sitting there, you're putting on a uniform, you're defending the flag, you're protecting your country, and it's just something it's hard sometimes to really put into words until you're actually doing it. But the amazing part about it is no one's putting anybody's gun to their head to have to do that. You don't have to serve. If you want to, you can, and it's all it's a volunteer force. And people are willing to sacrifice their lives, if it comes to it, to defend the country. And that's what this weekend's all about. Veterans Day, you honor the vets. But on this specific day, we're remembering the people who gave the ultimate sacrifice. There's a lot of graves out there for men who gave the ultimate sacrifice in defending the country all across the world. And you know what? I put together a little thing. I think for those of you who were on Giant Sports Talk Live yesterday, you saw a little clip of it. But let's go here. This is the best way to kind of explain what this is all about for this weekend. All right, there we go.
Very nice.
Nothing needs to be said.
No, not at all. And I tell you what, if you guys haven't been able to see an American cemetery, whether it's Arlington or if you're able to go overseas and see Normandy, and I also had the Luxembourg Cemetery, it takes when you visit one of these, words can't describe. It's incredible. It's the most beautiful grounds you'll ever see. The way they take care of it is just absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you one thing, when I was stationed in Germany, I was able to go to Normandy. The people there, don't forget, even though it's, you got a couple of generations, the people over there have not forgotten, and you'll see American flags all over those, the homes in the Normandy area. So it's something that is just indescribable. You have to just feel it yourself. And one thing you'll feel immense pride and understanding, hey, you know what? We live in a pretty damn good country.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Yeah. I've been to Arlington a couple of times.
See?
And pretty cool. And then
Gettysburg, you said you've been to?
Been to Gettysburg. Yeah. Been to Gettysburg and watched the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. That's pretty remarkable to watch.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
that is incredible. The respect that they show to the unknown soldiers is just unbelievable, man. It's
yeah. There's a lot of history back east. When I lived in Connecticut, took went to Gettysburg and went and saw all the Pickett's Charge, all that where the North was camped up top, and they were just wide open. They were just, there was no way they were going to be able to. when you go there and actually see it, you go like, oh my gosh, they just charged right into the, their death. So many people.
I know. The style of warfare back then was just, it's incredible. It's incredible. And they were shoulder to shoulder, right, with their muskets.
Right. Muskets, yeah.
And the leaders led from the front. They were at the front, not behind, not in some cozy office.
Right. Totally different today. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, this should be an interesting day. What time's the ball game tomorrow?
It's early. It's like 10 o'clock, I think.
Oh, it is.
10 o'clock again.
Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Well, let's
I'm guessing they're going to wear those same caps that they wore in armed forces there, right?
Well, hopefully I wake up in time. I just took a couple of pills at 8 right at the start. And I'm starting to feel like a little like Lamont Wade. I'm not seeing the ball.
And then Eric and Dan, did you guys happen to see after game 2 SGA's San Francisco Giant hat?
No. Oh, wait, you the one is that the one you sent me?
Yeah, when I said really cool. So
wow. Yeah. I didn't even know that he was a Giants fan. How about that?
Yeah, because he's Canadian. SGA, when he won after game 2, he had the San Francisco Giant hat on, which of course you can't get. I don't know where he got it.
Late night's got about 15 minutes before he's just going to crash. I've been holding off on these pain pills because I don't like the side effects. And
they're horrible.
Yeah, but I took one with a combination because I've got some nerves. When they do the cutting, there's nerves that are firing. They call it
cauterizing.
But it's like I can't remember. There was a name for it. I read it earlier, but it's like I start walking and it's like electric shocks in my leg.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, so they gave me pills for that. And then there's one for pain. It's like one of those opioid ones, tramadol or whatever.
See,
it's a lighter one. I haven't taken any, and I took one tonight, and I'm like starting to.
Yeah,
like
you get
feeling it. I could probably. It's kind of like gabapentin, Anthony. Yeah, it's a different one. It's called Lyrica, it's the same family as gabapentin. But,
Eddie's messing with you. How many fingers am I holding up? That's pretty good. Eddie. How many fingers am I holding up?
4, 5. Yeah.
Right on, Philip.
Yeah, it's I got I can hold my bat up here though.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
Got my walker.
So how often do you have to go physical therapy?
Twice a week.
That's not so bad.
Not too bad. Yeah.
They get in deep in there and freaking push all that scar tissue out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing it out the other day, Friday, and then tomorrow a holiday, so they're coming Tuesday. But
do you feel better? Do you feel better than prior to the surgery?
No,
because it's still
it's my quad is just like tight, like it's just so tight. Yeah. So it's.
Are you able to sleep?
Yeah, I'm sleeping pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Sleeping pretty good. So it's just I had to wear these compression socks. I'm starting your solutions. Compression socks. It's a really big day here at NorCal Sports Network. I feel like I'm taking over. Wow. Another half hour here. I might say something I regret. So
let's get it out of here. How about that? It's probably a good time to stop.
Whew. Yeah, it take an hour and a half.
Keep getting the squares. Get the squares, guys, because it's going to be time.
Get the squares.
I'm glad we sold a few tonight.
Yeah, we got to get in there. There's the
thank
update
you to
right
Kennedy
there.
for coming on a couple of weeks ago. Megan, thank you for all your help with the helping out with Haley and telling everybody at the golf course up at Carson City. And There you guys go. It's going to be filled. Remember,
got taken tonight. What else? What was the other number?
16 and 85 were taken tonight.
85. Scott F. Okay.
Scott Fowler and Philip Coppola. Is that right? I think. Make sure I said that right. Yep, Coppola.
Yeah.
Thinking. Hopefully I did not butcher that. Don't be a square, buy a square, says Mark.
That's right. Get a square right now.
Like don't be a square.
Do it live. We're gonna do it live.
Oh man.
Remember that Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, he's like they're trying to get him to say something, and he gets all flustered.
He does, yeah.
And he goes, "We're gonna do it live." And he starts swearing.
All right.
Well, Eric, give us an update. Give us an update on Glenn's situation when you can.
Yeah,
tell him we were thinking about him, because I know you guys were thinking about Dan when he had his surgery. So we
absolutely, I was. I've sent him a couple of texts. I haven't heard anything back. I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay. But yeah, he's his father's kind of in a bad way in Nova Scotia, so I know he's over there.
His father or mother?
His father.
Oh, father.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if it was mother or father.
Yeah, it's his father. So yeah. So hopefully everything is.
That's always hard.
Tough.
I know those are not good days when you have
no, they're not. Is that true? Is Philip related to Francis Coppola? No, come on, right?
Isn't Francis Ford Coppola's real last name Cage? Nicolas Cage is related to Talia Shire and Francis Coppola, but his real name is Cage. Because is it because he switched Cage because he was Coppola? Yeah, Nicolas Cage is related.
Is he really? I did not know.
No,
either,
did he switch with Nicolas Cage because his real name? I guess his real name was Coppola, and he didn't want everyone to know his.
I did not know that
he was related. Yeah.
Wow, I learned something every day, man. I did not know that. Philip and I worked
only on the hot corner
at the Stick and I together. No kidding.
At the Candlestick.
Wow. What? No. That's pretty freaking cool, man. We got famous people over. We got people who were in.
I remember
Insane in the Membrane video. We got freaking.
You worked at the Stick together. That's awesome. I knew people at a place called
Senior.
the Stadium
Was
Club.
it Senior in a movie or something?
Senior was in a video. Insane in the Membrane. You know.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Insane in the Brain. No kidding. Wow, that's freaking awesome. Wow.
I got to go through therapy about 6 weeks, I think. I get my other hip done like a moron.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this.
Oh man, dude, that's tough.
Go through it all over again. Well, there isn't a whole lot to do here in the summer in Arizona, so I want to be able to get out and walk without pain in the fall. When the weather gets good.
Right. So, exactly.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So tomorrow, Giants, Detroit.
Yep.
Who's pitching tomorrow? Birdie?
Birdsong. Yep. I can't remember who's going. Oh, is it Holton or something? Is that who's going tomorrow? I can't remember.
Tomorrow it is tomorrow
for Detroit.
Tomorrow. What is
Montero?
Montero. That's who it is.
Yeah.
There we go.
Montero.
Come on.
Yeah. And anything else going on? Oh, we had the Indy 500 today, huh?
Oh, what? Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I sort of lost it when I saw the overrated GOAT was doing the broadcasting. He was all over the place. Did you see that, Tom Brady?
He lived with Tara.
Race. He was in a car. Yeah.
Tara Reid, isn't that the lady that Biden was accused of?
No, Reid's from the Tara Reid, the blonde. She was in those movies, the high school kids, American Pie. She was the blonde. She was pretty famous, but then she got a boob job and one became infected. It was weird. But Tara Reid was the one from American Pie, the blonde.
Bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to.
Yeah, that wasn't American Pie. That's American Pie, the song. But
yeah,
not
Don
American Pie, the
McLean.
movie.
Don McLean. Yeah.
Wow. So he is related. Look at that. Very far removed. Nicolas Cage is a Coppola. It's August Coppola's son, Francis' nephew.
Yeah, and I think his aunt is Taya Shire, from Rocky. And you trying to rock. Yeah.
Hey, women.
That guy is awesome in the Twilight Zone.
2 of them.
Yeah.
He was in 2.
He's in a couple of them. Yeah, he was,
Yeah, great actor. And of course, probably his most famous role, the Penguin.
You ever watch the
that's right.
Oh, yeah.
No, not the was he Penguin? Yeah. Was he the Penguin or the Riddler? No, the Penguin.
You ever remember watching the Streets of McMillan and Wife? No, not Streets of San, but that was Carl Malden, but McMillan and Wife with Rock Hudson and Susan St. James.
I don't know that one.
They used my aunt and uncle's house.
I remember you talking about that.
On Hyde Street in San Francisco, that they would show them entering in, but then when they went into the house, then it was an LA house. Kind of weird.
Studio.
Yeah, LA studio house, but they used my aunt and uncle's entrance.
Outside.
Yeah. Pretty weird.
That's cool. But I'm a huge freaking Twilight Zone fan. So I love.
Oh, of course. We'll have to have one night our top 5 of all time because there's so many.
Oh, are you a Twilight Zone fan? Are you a Twilight Zone fan?
Huge.
Oh,
I love it every Memorial Day when Sci-Fi shows them all.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude. Oh
and it's like, which one have I not
New Year's
seen?
Eve. New Year's Eve they used to do that.
Yeah,
yep.
They do that. So they do it twice a year. But I think there's 84. I probably have seen at least 70 of them. Occasionally there'll be one. Yeah. Go, I forgot about that one.
Right.
Or I never seen it.
Thanks, Hope.
Dan was more probably of a night.
Yes,
type of guy.
That's the one. Gary. Yes.
Burgess Meredith. Burgess Meredith.
Man. Do you remember that?
I like
obsolescence.
Yeah.
You're a bug. You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth.
And then you remember at the end how he forgets the guy with the bomb?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
And then the other one, of course, is he always wanted to read, and they had the atomic bomb go, and he had all the books, but he lost his glasses at the very end.
Yeah, at the very end, he broke his glass. He loved to read, and his wife didn't like him to read. And,
Speaking of the Twilight Zone,
Time Enough at Last. That's the one. Yep.
I think
I love it, dude.
I think I'm entering the Twilight Zone, guys.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Get the band. Get the band.
Let's get the band. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll be back here Sunday night to do it all over again. Let's see if the
Thank you, chat. Thank you, all the sponsors.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll see you next weekend. See ya.